Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully, your week is wrapping up nicely. Or if you are watching this at any other point in the week, hopefully, you're having a great day. Nonetheless, the full SUHO release is finally here, and we are going to jump on board with it immediately. Of course, we had the title track, Cheese, featuring Miss Wendy of Red Velvet, not very long ago. Was it last week? I forget when that was, but that dropped. It was very fun. Very fun little collab piece. Good song, too. But we have, of course, the full release, not just the title track 1 to 3, but the album 1 to 3, which I am very excited to get into, because we, of course, will be getting into that album today. I usually like to get involved with the albums, but when time becomes an issue, especially because I don't do this as a full-time job, I do this on the side while I'm still doing PhD studies and stuff. So sometimes we have to cut out album listens and stuff, but today has been a completely blank slate day for me, and well, let's just round out the entire recording block properly and finish the album as well. So we're gonna check out 1 to 3, the MV first, and then jump on over to the B-sides next up on the following video, if it isn't out already. Keep your eyes peeled for it. So here we go. Now, when it comes to SUHO's solo music, I'm not the most well-versed person in the world. I have heard him live, just on whim. I went to go see MIK in London 2 years ago, and he just happened to be part of the set list. But whatever he performed, I thoroughly enjoyed. I think, what were the songs that I playlisted immediately? It was Hurdle, Morning Star, and I think O2 were like the three songs that yeah, those are the three songs that I playlisted like immediately on site. Like I was listening to it, oh, I really like this, I'll like Shazam it on my phone and then playlist it while the song was playing. And well, I'm kind of hoping we get more of that today, because like, if we're talking in terms of track record, like SUHO on the channel is 1 for 1 in terms of studio releases. And of course he had an OST inclusion as well, which was very good. So let's just get into it. Here we go. 1 to 3. Yeet. Hold on a second. Wait, it hasn't even been 30 seconds yet. He's cooking. I'm a sucker for a retro synth pop song. We are already off to a great start. And also, not just the synth part, peep the bass line. Oh my goodness. Hello, harmonies. Oh. Very subtle growth for the chorus, but still very nice. Is SUHO's thing kind of going the light rock direction? Because this isn't obviously the only time he's done something like this, but he bosses it. Oh, take it up one time to finish. I feel like it's rare in an instrumental section to have the bass be the moving instrumental part and the synths be the steady beat, but I love it. It works so well. It is a little bit quiet. Let's bump it up a little bit. Yeah, that transition between the pre-chorus and the chorus, it's short, but very effective, as it gets your mind settled in, locked in what's coming, and You can imagine like a background choir for this. And then the way he throws the Set Me Free up at the end too is perfect. Oh, I thought maybe we'd keep it halftime for the entire thing. Nope, we've bumped it back up the original pace again. Light but high, I like it. A little stutter step. Okay, I see you, SUHO. What is that? Something has made its way into my house. Not supposed to be here. Hello, bug. I'll get to you in a second because this song is too good to ignore. It's very good. It's very good. And the thing is, it kind of plays a little bit of like a nostalgia sense for me because I grew up listening to 80s music. Admittedly, I primarily listened to like 80s hard rock, heavy metal, rock, that scene from the 1980s because that's what my parents played in the car rides and stuff, and I just kind of naturally tagged on to it. So I'm very much like the Van Halens, the Def Leppards, the AC/DCs, we can get really niche here in a second. I'll save you from that conversation because it's not really relevant, but it's not just the heavier stuff too. It's, you know, 80s pop, the 80s light rock movement. 1 to 3 very much has a very solid foothold in that 80s light rock sound where it's got that really nice synth sound. It's got the scratchy guitar, it's got the clean vocals, and it's got the beat that just goes. I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. And the thing is, I've explained this on the other EXO-related releases we've had this year, but I was not familiar with EXO stuff going into last year's Exist album. I didn't really listen to EXO at all beforehand. I knew of them, I knew a couple songs by them, but I just never really had the necessity to dive further into them, if that makes sense. But, you know, following, I guess, May of that year, because Kai was at K-Pop Flex in Germany, SUHO was at MIK, Schumann made his solo debut at the end of that, or around that point. We had Chanyeol's Good Enough last year. Dio's had 2 releases since then. I'm still missing an elusive Baekhyun release. And then Kai also had Rover as well. And then, well, I wasn't familiar with SUHO's game either before MIK, and now that I'm here for the first time ever on release day for a brand new SUHO drop, it's very good. It's very good. And in fact, I have not had a single miss when it comes to EXO-related releases yet. I feel like that's a pretty high mark considering how many we've had. You know, Chen's SM Stations, double Dio albums. Well, we're about to have a SUHO album in here. Chanyeol's single, Kai's Rover. Even though I didn't like it that much on drop, I quite enjoy now. I feel bad as a multi for having sat back on anything related to EXO for so long. But SUHO for me is like, he's reaching that musical mind that I feel like doesn't often get a lot of attention in the world of K-pop. Like old retro rock sounds isn't uncommon, but is not common either. Like, you will get some on occasion. In fact, I feel like a lot of SM groups do that, which is slightly odd, but maybe it's a coincidence, I don't know. But the fact that we've gotten this sound, and I know that this isn't the first time that he's done something like this, warms my heart, because I know that I can, like, yes, I'm going to connect to this right away. Let's talk about the song, though. Off rip. I mean, this is already sold me on it. I am on board with this already. It's not even 5 seconds in. So here for it, because I already know, having grown up on the 80s music, what type of song that synthesizer is going to be paired with. It's going to have some punch, it's going to have a nice bop, it's going to have a nice groove, and it's going to be a fun time. Was I wrong? I don't think so. Weirdly, it kind of turns Persona 5-esque here a little bit, but I'm not complaining. I love the Persona 5 OST. And again, I mentioned earlier, but in terms of the instrumentation, the synthesizer is retaining the beat. The melodic element is being now responsible by the bass. That doesn't happen. The bass is usually the one providing the consistent beat, kind of like the drummer in a band. The drum and the bass, because they take up the bottom end of the song in terms of like treble, middle, and bass, they're the ones that have the most power in terms of holding the song down. Not in this case. That synthesizer has been given full priority into pacing the song. And it does the job so well because it adds a texture to it, but it's light, which allows for the bass to move around and add a little bit of that bottom texture that you really normally wouldn't get. And then you pair it with that quite a nice light vocal top line from SUHO. It pairs. It's a weird combination that pairs really well. It's like lemon and lemon and cream or lemon and yogurt. You have a dairy with an acid. They shouldn't go together, but they do, and they work tremendously. Food analogy. Managed to squeeze one in there. And because that bass is melodic, it almost feels like a second vocal part to pair with SUHO, which is really cool. Guess set. The short pre-chorus is the short transition in that pre-chorus is actually kind of interesting. Usually, on a post-chorus, you get a proper full 4 measures. We only need 2 here. And in fact, because it's short, that release in the chorus, even though it's not the biggest release in the world, feels more because it comes early. Normally in a pop song, you hear it in 4, and your brain is fully expecting it to be 4 measures before the chorus drop. It doesn't. It shows up early. It surprises you. It's like, oh, it's here already. And it hits. Had that get, set, go, get, set, go, get, set section been a full 4 measures, I feel like this chorus wouldn't have hit as hard as it does. Which is really interesting to me. It'll play. Go, get set, and we're already here. And then we get a little guitar movement going on. We get the full band experience now. Hold on, I just had a thought. This scene where he's just kind of standing on stage with a mic stand, didn't he have that scene very similarly composed to this in Hurdle? I feel like I have seen this exact same framing before on a SUHO MV, just with a different background. Am I tripping, or is that just me? Or am I right, or am I tripping? There we go, that's the right word. Either way, very nice. And you know what? I love the fact that we got a very band-heavy song too, because I'm a big advocate of the K-band subgenre, and essentially in K-pop, this is as close as you're going to get before delving into proper K-band territory. So, props to you, sir. That was a lot of fun indeed. And of course, we have B-sides to get to, so keep your eyes peeled for that if it isn't out already. But I am going to end it here for SUHO's 1, 2, 3, the MV for it at least. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today. Let's work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day-to-day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, Even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.